Action.
Man, I feel dumb, Raphael,
Why's that, Colin?
because I don't know how to evaluate radians by my hand.
I'll show you.
Yes.
So if you have the radian tangent 5 pi over 4, that's equal to 225 degrees.
Okay.
If 0 starts here on the positive note, and you come all the way over here, this is the 180 degree and that's the 720, so 225 is going to be in the middle. Now you always go up to the x-axis. So if you go up, and that's 45 degrees away from 180, this one right here, the longest one, would be the hypotenuse, which is always positive.
Right.
Which is square root of 2. And since this is to the left, that's a -1. This is to the left and down, that's also a -1. So, what do you know about tangent from our math song? So,
I don't know anything about tangent.
well, TOA means opposite over adjacent, which is over here. Tangent, opposite over adjacent. Opposite, what would be opposite of this angle?
Opposite of this angle?
Yeah, right there.
I don't know, because I don't know anything.
It'd be -1. Adjacent means next to. That'd also be -1.
Alright.
So since we know TOA, opposite over adjacent, would be -1 over -1 would equal 1. Yeah? Colin's not dummy anymore.
Colin, I need your help.
What do you need?
I can't figure out how to evaluate quadrant by hand.
Great. Look what we have on the board. So we have secant 3 pi over 2, which equals 270 degrees. Therefore, you want to draw this, which is where the angle is. And then you want to draw this triangle over here because you're evaluating quadrantal by hand.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to collapse this side because you want to get it to the y-axis. You got me? And then our next step is to take secant, which is hypotenuse over adjacent. Sorry, before that, you got to put these in. 0, -1, and 1. Okay, now you can take secant, hypotenuse over adjacent, which is 1 over 0, 1 over 0, and that equals undefined. So you can't answer everything in life, alright?
Alright.
You got me?
I got you.
Hey Emery, I need help using my graphing calculator to evaluate trigonometry.
I can help you with that, Colin. Okay, it's pretty simple. You'll get this pretty fast, okay? So let's say we have a problem that is sine pi over 5. Okay? So obviously we're in radians at this point.
Yeah.
And we want to get it to degrees. We're trying to find our degree of whatever sine pi over 5 is. So it's really simple. You take your calculator, okay? You come here, you go up to mode. You click mode, and you want to make sure that it's in radians mode, okay? So then you click that, then you click enter, then you can go back to the home screen. So you know it's in radians, and then you just type it in, sine, and then you put secant pi, which is over here in this corner, divided by 5. Close up the parentheses, and that's your degree. You'll get 0.587.
Wow.
And you could get, maybe if you're only going to, the 10,000 places, you go as many places as you're required to go down the decimals, and then that's what you get. And then if you want to change it and you're trying to find the radians of 0.587, you're trying to find that one for the sin, then you just go back to mode, and you change it back to the degrees,
Wow.
and then you do the same process, plug that in, and then you'd end up getting your answer, which is pi over 5.
Alright, so we're going to evaluate this triangle. And since you are a dummy and you really made me imagine it, you need to find this one. And you probably don't know how, because you're a dummy. So I wrote it out for you.
Okay.
With the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. It's 100 equals c squared. And we got to square root it. So c equals 10. So this equals 10. Now sine is opposite in hypotenuse. So it's 8 and 10. So simplify it. 4 fifths. And since this is the opposite, you got to flip it, the numbers. That's how you get the first one. Next one's adjacent. So it'd be 3 fifths. You got to simplify. 5 thirds. Okay. Then it would be 4 thirds. Okay. 3 fourths. And that's how you evaluate this triangle. Okay. how you graph the sine graph. So this right here is the sine graph just normal as it is. And then, so this number is the amplitude right here. And this affects the height and the highest point and the lowest point. So this one would be negative 25, and this one would be 25. And then this is the wavelength of the said graph. So it happens 2 times at 360 degrees. So the whole one wave would be 180. So this one's negative 180, and this one is 180. But you also have to graph wherever it hits the x-axis. So this one would also be 90 because it's halfway in between the wave. And then this one would be 90, and that's how you graph it.